Senator Manchin essentially tanking what the Democrats propose to, again, fund climate change, then taxing wealthy Americans. Manchin says he's not on board with that. He was a key swing vote for the Democrats. Talks for months. He talked with Schumer reportedly about this. He says he's not a vote for that. He would support bringing down the costs of prescriptions for elderly, if you will. Your thoughts on that and Senator Manchin's position there? Essentially, what does that do to the Democrat Party, and how big of a blow is this on Manchin's decision?
Well, I mean, stop and think about it. We got a $5 gas. We got 41-year high inflation. And what do the Democrats want to do? Increase spending and raise people's taxes. So God bless Joe Manchin. He gets it. I mean, a few weeks ago, we had Treasury Secretary Yellen say this inflation, this high inflation kind of surprised us. I'm like, how could it surprise you? You spend like crazy, you pay people not to work, and you drive up the cost of energy, and you're surprised we got record inflation. So again, I'm thankful that Joe Manchin's doing the right thing here and stopping this legislation. Let's hope it stays that way and this thing doesn't pass, which would only exacerbate the problems facing so many families across our great nation.
I want to ask you, switching, if I can, to the topic of abortion, something Democrats are pushing hard for, specifically on talking about using federal grounds or federal funds for transportation to pro-abortion states. I know your colleagues in the House are trying to fight this, and we'll show you the Daily Caller headline here says Representatives Carter, Stefanik introducing legislation to prevent federal funding for abortion transportation. There's a lot of meat to this. Is there any part of this that you do support? We know we also saw those post-Roe hearings there with the Judiciary Committee. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm as pro-life as you can be. We need to protect the sanctity of unborn children's lives, the sanctity of life. The Supreme Court's decision was, I think, a win for the Constitution, a win for common sense, and a win for the sanctity of human life. American taxpayers don't want their tax dollars used to take the life of an unborn child. So this is good legislation. It's consistent with the Hyde Amendment concept that we've had in place for so long. Let's hope this can pass. I doubt if it will, because Nancy Pelosi and the left are so committed to their pro-abortion agenda that they're willing to in 10 weeks, we've now had the left attack over 40 churches and crisis pregnancy centers around the country in 10 weeks' time, vandalized, in some cases, fires and firebomb. I mean, this is how bad the intimidation effort has become from the left, trying to intimidate pro-life Americans, and frankly, trying to intimidate the Supreme Court with a number of things we have seen, all the way up to these protests that are taking place at justices' homes. So, yeah, this is good legislation. Let's hope it can pass. It probably won't until we win back the majority, which I think is going to happen.
You mentioned targeting the homes of Supreme Court justices. That is not possible without the addresses of those Supreme Court justices. Ruth Sent Us, one of the activist groups on Twitter, is now banned, again, or suspended, rather, to put it appropriately, because they were one of the activist groups publishing the addresses of the Supreme Court justices. Attorney General Garland has not acted on this. That is something that many have pointed out. You've seen recently Justice Kavanaugh trying to have dinner with his family there at one of those nice steakhouses there in D.C., had to be escorted out of the back. Not a safe place, if you will, or a peaceful place, if you will, for many conservative-leaning justices. But again, your response to that, even though Ruth Sent Us, one of the many activist groups, has been suspended on Twitter, do you think more should be done?
Well, I'm not a fan of censorship, but what I do think should happen is the Justice Department should follow the law. The law says 18 U.S.C. Section 1507 says if people are protesting at a Supreme Court justice's home in an effort to impact a decision, which is exactly what took place after the leaked opinion came out, they were trying to bully and intimidate the court. If that's happening, that's a direct violation of the statute. Why aren't they enforcing that? That's what needs to happen. So, but they're not doing it, which in effect means you have now a key agency in the executive branch actively participating in the left's efforts to intimidate a separate and equal branch of government, the judicial branch. That's not how it's supposed to work in our great country. So that's the big problem here. Why won't the Justice Department enforce the law? It's wrong what this Ruth Sent Us is doing, but what needs to happen is the Justice Department needs to follow the law.
Staying on this topic, one of the major headlines, as you well know, is this claim that allegedly a 27-year-old Guatemalan man had allegedly raped a 10-year-old girl. He confessed this to the Columbus Police Department here, age of 27. There's a lot of holes in this story again, but one thing that you're being hit on here is a tweet that you put out, another lie, anyone surprised. You deleted the tweet. CNN has asked you about this. If you apologize for it, you said no. They asked you why you deleted it. You said because essentially the facts finally came to light here. Nevertheless, again, receiving a lot of heat on that. I'm just curious to know your thoughts today on this story. The mother was interviewed by Telemundo. She all but defended the suspect. She said her daughter was fine. The Indiana Attorney General is now investigating what happened in Indiana as far as that abortion because they failed to report it. Again, this was to a minor. If this happened, this should have been reported. Where are your thoughts with this media coverage, but also the actual story?
Yeah, I mean, look, we didn't apologize because we never doubted the child story. What we doubted was what Joe Biden said, and frankly, based on history, that's usually a good thing to do. But this guy, if this illegal immigrant did this terrible crime, of course, then he needs to face the fullest possible punishment that we can. So yeah, we never doubted the young child story. What we doubted is what Joe Biden said about this. And there's been all kinds of other media outlets had reported the same kind of thing. What needs to happen is this illegal alien needs to be prosecuted if in fact this took place, which it looks like it did.
Well, and just to get really quickly before you go, it does bring up the topic if something like this does happen. If there are minors that are victims of rape, should they be forced to carry out this child? Should they have this option? In the state of Ohio, sir, where do you fall on that?
Well, this is a question. This is straight on the Supreme Court's decision. This is the question that the legislatures in the respective states will answer. I'm as pro-life as you can be. We want to protect the unborn children's life, but in this situation, you're talking about a 10-year-old. But that is a question for legislatures in the respective states. That's exactly what the Dobbs decision said, and that's where the people's representatives should make that decision in our state legislatures.
Well, I appreciate the time, Congressman Jim Jordan. Thank you so much for that. Enjoy your weekend.